I keep pinching myself that I live, in this tiny slice of time where Steel Panther exists. It's incredible. I've got to ask, as a certified definite gearhead, I mean, not a lot of people know that as well as being an incredible womanizing, drumming, drug legend, you also are incredible at recording, engineering, production. You know your way around a studio.
Thank you.
Can you tell me about the gear that's being used at the moment? Like, is there an amp? Are you going direct?
Well, in my house or at the studio? We could talk about both.
Okay.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, because we've alluded to it already. I write and I record at home. I have a studio at home, but I'll talk about the Steel Panther stuff when we're at Studio 606, like I said, and that board that's the infamous Sound City Neve board, complete with Paul McCartney's signature on it. And
oh my god!
So being in that room, I guess Dave Grohl built that studio 20 years ago. It's 20 years old now. He built it for rock. Like honestly, dude, it's probably the best rock room in LA, and I would say, and I've been to Abbey Road and in the BBC studios, and I've been to those those kinds of places, and I would say pound for pound, if you're gonna do rock and roll drums and guitars and basses, 606 you can make an argument for it being the best room in the world.
And what drum kit are you using in that room?
Well, I'm a DW guy. So I use my DW. My thing is maple over mahogany. That's the combination that I love. I have a knurled steel snare drum, 6.5 by 14. I use Sabian cymbals, which, I used to use other brands. For a long time, I was endorsed by a couple other brands. And when I ended up at Sabian, I fell in love with the sound of the cymbals. And look, there's a lot of guys that are more gear nerd than I am. I love gear, but I can just tell you that the Sabian cymbals, they sound right. They're not overpowered. They just sound sweet. I use Remo heads, Porter and Davies Throne. I use London Drumstick Company drumsticks. Shout out to Will at London Drumstick Company. And I will say this: I've been with the big ones for a long time. I was with Vic Firth. I was with Vader. I was with Zildjian for Stix as well at some point. But I moved over to London Drumstick Company. A couple of friends of mine, Ryan from Airborne, uses them. And they're innovative and they're cool. This guy Will, who owns the company, I love the dude. You would love the dude. And so that's the stuff I'm using drum wise. And we go through the Neve board, and it does something to the sounds, and that the live room they have there, it's just, I don't know, man. The mic selection they have there is second to none. And they let you use everything that's at the studio. Like nothing's off limits. If Dave Grohl's guitar is there and it's out, you can use it. If somebody, if there's a Taylor Hawkins drum set that happens to be there, you're allowed to use it. And it's really cool that they have so much stuff. But as far as home, I record to Logic on my Mac, but I'm starting to learn Luna from Universal Audio. Because it sounds like, it's very strange, because what I'm finding is Luna is modeled with Universal Audio. They just did something with that program that makes it sound like an album. Like you can tape saturate every single channel with different 2 inches, and it just gives you that warmth, that punch that you don't normally get in a DAW. So I use that. I use a Universal Audio 4710 mic pre. I use the Universal Audio Apollo X4. That's got 4 mic pre's, but then I light pipe it the 4710 in, so I've got 4 more really good pre's and compressor. And then I use a Warm Audio 1176 copy because I don't want to go out and spend all the money. I am in the market for a 1073 clone, or unless you know somebody that has a real 1073 that they're going to throw out, you let them know and get it to my house. I use
this is the content everyone needed from Stix Zadinia.
Dude,
everyone needed to know the home studio setup. This is
I'm
amazing.
telling you, I'm not trying to make people laugh right now. I'm trying to fucking get people to get into music. So I use a Neumann TL103 microphone. I also use the Universal Audio. I think it's the SC one. It looks like the SM7B. I can't remember the model, but that's a great mic as well when you want that kind of SM7B sound. And then I use my Chapmans. I use my Pegasus. I use sometimes I'll use my LTD C1000. I use for bass. I will use an old Music Man that I'm really digging the Music Man, and I have an American-made Fender P because if you need a bass guitar, if you only have one bass guitar in your life,
it needs to be a P.
Make it an American P.
Yeah,
it's worth it. It's so funny because you can plug a P in, right? Direct. You don't even need a compressor. You don't need you can go right into your interface. Just a little gain it up. And it sounds like a bass should sound, right? So you'll get guys with these crazy basses with signal chains that are like 17 things deep, compressors, EQs, trees, all the bullshit, only to get back to the sound that a P makes when it's plugged straight in. It's fucking crazy. So, and then
can I ask you?
Yeah.
Sorry to stop you on the P bass loving, because I was really enjoying that, and I had a similar conversation with another amazing guitar player recently. He said there's only one bass guitar and it's the P bass.
Yeah.
What Satchel is he using amps or is he running direct?
Live, he uses.
No, in the studio.
Oh, in the studio, it's both. In the studio, we do a hybrid. We're using EVH amps. I think I know that there is a brand new 5150 that is basically what they did is they came out with a new 5150 that emulates the PV 5150.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And dude, I think that's part of what's freaking me out is the tones that we're getting.
Yeah.
They're nasty. So I heard your new single, If You Fail, right?
Yes.
And I heard it and I listened to it and I was like, what the fuck? How's he getting that guitar tone? And I texted you. So for your listeners and viewers, I actually did this. I'm not bullshitting. I'm like, what is that guitar tone? And you told me it was a BadCat, right?
Yeah, it was a BadCat, Hot Cat with a semi-hollow P90 loaded Chapman ML3 Pro Modern, Pro Traditional, and not a lot on the floor, just a little tiny bit of push in the preamp, all mic'd up and very, very fucking loud.
It sounds loud. It sounds fucking angry, but controlled anger.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, I guess the best analogy I could give you is it's like a UFC fighter who knows how to fucking demolish it, but is calm about it until they don't need to be.
That was good. It's the audio feeling of righteous indignation. That's what I wanted to get across. The feeling of knowing that, righteous indignation. That's what it is. And that comes from the air that you're allowing, miking up the back of the cab, the guitar breathing, semi-hollow thing, all the volume. Everyone's in the room live. You're getting cymbals on the guitar mic.
The wash.
Yeah. The wash is important, man. It's the DNA of the room.
It's what threads it together. So like, if I'm tracking at home and I'm the only guy there, right? And I write a song and I get it to where now I'm going to do all of the performances for real. Because I'm doing them separately, they don't have that bleed. I have to manufacture that in the mix, right? I have to try to emulate that in the mix. And it's very difficult to do. And and that's why we're using live amps along with modeling, because I still, as good as they are, he uses amplifier brand modelers, but as good, or I'm sorry, atomic amps.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Tom at Atomic, super nice guy. There, I still don't think that there's a substitute for the air that a speaker moves. I mean, it's very close, and you know, you're gonna have people go, dude, I bet you if you had a shootout and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. You're probably right. Cool story. Let's move on. But I think it comes through in the mixes, and I can't put a finger on why or how. It sounds different when it's a physical speaker moving actual air.
Yeah. So Satchel's blending atomic stuff with EVH stuff.
Yep.
Like desaturated crunches, and that's interesting.
Yep. And you know what's really crazy is we and I don't know when this is going to air, but we got asked to do something special for Air Supply, the band.
Uh-huh.
And we started working that out on our tail end of our session yesterday. And Satchel ended up with a 12-string electric going through, I think it was a Mesa head, with this crazy chorus pedal for the intro.
Wow.
And dude, when our producer Jay Rustin, he hit the button on the chorus pedal and it started to come through the speakers, everybody, no matter what you were doing, whether you were scrolling or whatever, everybody looked up and went, what is that? What's happening? And that's when you know, in the studio, that's when you're on to something special. And you know, speaking of that, you're making me go crazy now. My brain's going haywire. One of the things I absolutely love to do is just get weird in the studio. Like, you know, you plug a phaser in, you plug some sort of delay combo, right, with a flange or whatever, and start and pushing playback or having your guitar player play and just tweaking knobs and making the weirdest things happen with these things. And the idea that you might be able to replicate it is an impossibility. It's just, you're trying to capture lightning in a bottle. And I love that about being in the studio and working on that Air Supply thing. We went, okay, well, let's figure out how we want to do it. And that community, when you're working something out with a group of people, there's no, for me, musically, that's when it's the most exciting, when you go, oh yeah, and then this, oh yeah, and you keep building, and it's like, and you've created something with other people. It's always awesome to create by yourself because it feels good and you can go at your pace. But when you're on a wavelength with other musicians, man, there's nothing like it.